Hey, what's going on, everyone? Nathan here with the ebookreader.com. So we got the 10.3-inch Onyx Books Note Pro. I'm going to show you the PDF features here. Here's just like a quick comparison between the Nova Pro and the Onyx Note Pro. So they have the same PDF software, of course, but with the larger screen on the Note Pro, it definitely makes a big difference when it comes to PDF files. Obviously, PDFs vary quite a bit from one to the next. They usually have fairly large margins. So with Onyx's software, you can get rid of the margins. So that does help a lot. So let's go ahead and talk about all the PDF features you have with the Neo Reader app here on the Onyx Note. So there are a couple of ways to add your PDFs to the device. You can use the Wi-Fi transfer option to do it wirelessly. You can put all your stuff on here. So one thing to note is once you're using folders on the device, it doesn't recognize the folders in the library, so it'll just throw everything together in one big list. But you can create these subfolders once you're in the library here, and you can have your different PDFs laid out this way. You can also get some different options when you long press. You can use other apps if you want, but as far as PDF goes, Neo Reader is probably the best you're going to find. So let's go ahead and load up the PDF here and show you what we've got. So the Note Pro has 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is twice as much as the other regular Note. That does help with speed a little bit here and there. Like the other regular Note, you can use the stylus to write on the screen. It has a button on it as well, so you can quickly erase if you just hold down the button and use the tip, or you can turn it around and use the eraser end of the stylus. So Neo Reader 3 has a new look. You tap up, bring up your menu options here. The little progress indicator right here, you can use these arrows to jump chapters. And then you've got the history right here, so you can go forward and back wherever you visited the pages in the book or the PDF here. We've got the multi-page view, give you 9 or 4 pages at once, and then you can scan through your book this way. Then in the lower right corner it shows the page numbers. You can tap on those to bring up the page jump dialog. Then down here, another thing we got the format menu, so you can control the layout of the PDF. We've got some different zooming options. So you've got the this new incremental zoom here, where you can just tap on this to increase the zoom level and decrease the zoom level. So that's an easy way to get rid of the margins, make the PDF easier to read. And then when you page forward, it will maintain that zoom level. And you can see down here on the left, we got this little icon pops up here on Neo Reader 3. You can use the page. There's like little page arrows. You can also just tap the screen to turn pages. And this right here, it enables panning. So when you check that, then you can pan around the screen. It won't page forward when you're doing that. The button on the far left closes the buttons if you don't want to view it, and then you can exit out of the zoom mode by hitting the reset button there. You've also got the option to do like a manual crop mode in here. You can set up the region exactly how you want it to appear on the screen, so you can get rid of the margins that way, however you want. Lay out the PDF with the custom cropping. Whenever you're zoomed in here, you can still use the stylus to write on the screen. Unlike the like books where you're kind of only restricted to certain views using the stylus, Onyx's devices, you can use the stylus. Whenever you're zoomed in, it doesn't matter. Whenever you're zoomed out, so you got more options with that. You've also got some preset cropping options here, like the fit to width, the fit to page options here, and then this has this crop step thing down here. I don't even know what it does. It doesn't seem to do much. It just sort of like stays the same whenever you increase the level, so I don't really know what that does. It's actually not listed in the manual for some reason. So we've also got the 2-page spread. You can view 2 pages at once in landscape mode. You can page forward this way. It does have some limited zooming options when you have the when you're using the 2-page mode here. As you can see, you just got like the 1 zooming option there. You don't have the incremental zoom. You just have this 1 option here, so it gets rid of the margins a little there on the sides. And then you can also write on the pages, of course, when you're using the 2-page mode as well. So you still have the same features there, just the limited zooming options. And one thing you can do here is you can disable the pen. So by default, it's enabled where you write on the screen. But if you disable the writing, you can use your stylus to add annotations, to look up words in the dictionary. You can do all that kind of stuff. So you've got some different line options. You got the solid line, the dotted line, the wavy line, and you've got a couple of different options for your highlights. You got the gray or the dark. And then you can save and export all this stuff. So it's pretty easy. And if you want to just add annotations quickly, all you got to do is add it like that and then tap out of the box. So it does work pretty well. Again, you can use the stylus or your fingers to select words. When you're using a smaller stuff like this, it works a little bit easier to use the stylus, look up stuff in the dictionary and the like. You can also use landscape mode just for 1-page view if you want. And you get a lot larger layout that way. Obviously, that's probably a little bit more suited for your smaller screen e-readers like the Nova Pro, but you can use landscape mode on this device as well if you want to, and you got all the regular zooming options. So you can lay out your PDF however you want, landscape mode or portrait view, 2-page mode or 1-page mode. We got some different contrast adjustment options in here as well. You can control the boldness. So by default, some PDFs got like that really faded gray text, so you can increase the boldness there, make it dark. You've also got the reflow menu in here. So I don't think you're probably going to be using reflow too much when you got a large screen like this, but if you want to, you can reflow your PDF. There are different layout settings there. You can increase the font size if you want as well. So has some advantages, probably not so much with this larger screen here. We got some different navigation modes with Onyx's software here. So you open up the navigation menu, and as you can see here, it'll break the box or the page down to different boxes, and each box is labeled, how it'll page forward. You got the 2 pages option as well. So if you have a PDF with 2 pages and they're laid out slightly differently, you can have that set up for that. You got the different column modes here, so you can have multiple column PDFs set up to go, and then it'll follow the page however you want with the direction option right here. So like if you have a 2-column PDF like this, you can enter article mode, and you see right there exactly how it breaks down the paging with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's not quite right because we want to follow down the left margin. You can also break it down. Say we wanted to zoom in further, you can break it down to 6 columns. So then whenever you page forward, it'll follow down the column here, and then once you get to the next column, it'll go back up to the top column there. So that works well for multi-column PDFs. Probably one of the best options you're going to find for e-readers. You also got the automatic page turn option right here, which is called slideshow, so it'll automatically turn your pages for you. You can set it up with different timings. We got text-to-speech on Onyx's software right here. You can use a couple of different engines. You can set that up in settings. We got the table of contents view right here. And then another thing they added here with this last update was the option to view it in full screen, which is nice. So if you want to just view your table of contents view in a larger window like that, you can also view your other sections. They have these other sections for the table of contents window for your, anytime you add bookmarks or highlights or notes, gets added to these other sections right here. And then you can get the option to export them down there in the lower right corner. Whenever you write on the screen, it takes a thumbnail of it so you can easily find that note again. As far as writing on the screen, you got these different options up here. You got the pressure sensitive pen, the non-pressure sensitive pen. You can control the line size. You got the eraser options here. You can erase everything. You can use the stroke eraser. So again, you can use the stylus tip to erase by holding a button on the stylus, or you can just turn the stylus around and use the eraser to erase. There are the different shape options on here like you have with the Note app. Then you've got the different colored pen colors as well. So obviously the red, green, and blue aren't going to show up on the ink screen, but when you export the PDF, those will show up on your colored device. And then you got undo, redo, save, and the option to embed or export the PDF. And then over here on the far left, you've got the side note. So PDFs and ebooks have the option to use the side note feature, which will add a blank note page to your file. So that way you can add notes without writing directly on your PDF if you want to have a separate file. So along the menu bar up here, we got the front light adjustment. You've got your dictionary. It uses Star Dictionary. You can add some additional dictionaries in if you would like. And then you've got some different settings for that. We got search. So this is how long it takes to search the whole 226 pages. Not long with that 1.6 gigahertz quad-core processor. Pretty zippy. And then once you select your search results, you can use the arrow right here to scan through the next results. And then if you hit the arrow, you can go back to your list. You can also select a word and choose to run a search from there if you want to find more occurrences of that word. Up here, you've got the option to set your refresh frequency. Also has the option to use fast page turn mode, which obviously here is a little bit quicker than the regular page mode. The refreshing isn't quite as good, but it's just pretty good actually. It just sort of depends on what you're looking for. Up here in the global settings menu, you got some different options. You can enable the different page views, the different status bars, stuff like that, the hyperlinks, and you've also got some other settings in here for your touch screen, so you can set up the touch zones, how you want to page forward, how you want to access the menu. Again, you've got text-to-speech on the Onyx's Neo Reader app here. You can set up different engines. And then you got some different export settings in here as far as your notes are and your notes and highlights export. So up here along the top view, you can see we've got some tabs. So that's one unique feature with Onyx's e-readers. You can switch between documents with your tab view. You got active hyperlinks. So whenever you tap on a hyperlink, you'll go to that page. And then, of course, you got the history to go back and forth. So it makes it easy. So that pretty much covers all the software features when it comes to PDFs on Onyx's devices here. So I really do like this larger 10.3-inch ink screen. It's really nice option for PDFs. It's not quite as expensive as their 13.3-inch models, and you got the added front light with the Note Pro here. So check out the full review for more details. Thanks for watching. Bye.